Wow, this Kyrie Irving situation, it's just got me going through a bunch of emotions right now. Just the anger I was dealing with for the last couple days behind this situation just made me really sit back and say, you know what? Instead of going harder, trying to go the hardest, let me go smarter. So let me try to figure this out. Like, what is the problem? And really what got me to that point was when I seen, because I already know how certain people going to play it. You know what I'm saying? They want that apology. But when I'm hearing, the NBA and the NBA players and you know what I mean, brothers that look like us, like, condemning Kyrie, that was the part for me that was confusing. That was the part for me that made me sit back and be like, wait, am I tripping? Did Kyrie really do something wrong? Am I just, am I just too biased to see it? You know what I'm saying? Because I pretty much see things like the way he see things. So am I just, you know what I mean? And then I had to think like, yes, maybe. And it's crazy because I've been having this conversation a couple days before that, like probably a week before this situation even happened. And the conversation was, am I being loving enough and being inclusive enough when I'm taking this stance on who I am? And sometimes we don't give enough love in that situation. That's a little bit besides the point, but it kind of coincides with this Kyrie situation. It just watching, Shaq and Jay Will and Charles Barkley, even though we've all heard Charles Barkley say some things that, showed us that he has no regard for, our culture and community. But I still respect his opinion. I respect the NBA, and it seemed like the NBA was always allowing the players to be inclusive in the conversation involving the community and the culture. So I always respected the NBA from that standpoint. You know what I mean? And even still a little bit understanding that, the new commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver, is Jewish. So he's going to take direct, offense to things that are being spoken about Jews that's not in the highlight. And that's understandable so because he's Jewish. And that's partly his responsibility. You know what I mean? But for these brothers, man, dudes like Shaq and them, like, I done made hundreds of millions of dollars already. So, it's just an element of greed that pisses me off, that you ain't make enough money to stand with your peoples yet. You know what I mean? Okay, act along to get along, to play along, to get what you want to get. Okay, I understand that concept. But a couple $100 million later, why are we still acting along? Now, you didn't act it so long that you have become the part. Now, most importantly, before I even go a little further, I'm going to try to make this quick because I know people's attention spans are very short and you don't want to hear nothing unless it's a shoot 'em. Let me not go there. Let me just try to make this quick. First thing I want to say, right? We got to understand how it is that we have to bring this message across to the people that we want to bring it to, right? Because now the time, like they say in certain religious circles and spiritual, when they speak about God and the devil, when they speak about these spiritual elements, it's a well-known saying that the devil speaks with a forked tongue, right? Or, confusingly, he tries to confuse you. So when it comes to us speaking, even down to like things like the Bible, things can't always be put in blatant words and blatantly saying it because it's going to be too distracting. It's going to be too much left for the devil to, try to discredit, right? So my point is this: when we speaking of things, even when we speaking of injustices in our community, and we're pointing the finger at people, we have to do it more strategically, right? Right now, the civilization that we're set up, we got to think about it. These powers and entities has been one step ahead of us for a while. So they're going to be one step ahead of dictating what you're going to do to fight back. There's only certain ways you can fight back. You can mobilize your people through speech, music, are certain things that are closely monitored, right? So we have to think about from back in the days. You know, a Rolling Stone just came out with a report a couple weeks ago that the FBI finally closed their case on Aretha Franklin. Right. Aretha Franklin. Her father was a pastor who was close friends with Martin Luther King. So she was heavily involved in that civil rights movement. I mean, civilization can't be maintained without people thinking, right? This is not, we can't just we're not just all here, you know what I mean, acting, doing whatever we want to do, and it just works. This is a civilization. This is a whole country. This is various businesses. So if you understand that it has to be controlled, right? It has to be controlled. Then we have to understand that there are going to be things in place to monitor the control and to monitor the evolution of the movements of the people within that said culture, that civilization, right? So with knowing that with black people, right, knowing that we have been, I mean, given our freedom, but knowing the strength and potential that we have and the strength and potential that any other people have, we have to be monitored. So that the powers that be, the people that, you know, orchestrated the civilization could be aware of, you know, any potential threats to the power of the infrastructure of this civilization. That's just simple. So black people has always been monitored. So when you're a black person who has the ear of millions of black people, you have to be monitored because we need to know what you're saying to them and how they're reacting to you so we could know what's going to transpire in this civilization. That's just simple. So with Aretha Franklin, of course she has to be monitored with all of those. So this is not new hip hop police just chasing these and giving federal indictments on the Young Thugs and the AR raps and all that. Feds has been involved in our culture before hip hop. When it was Aretha Franklin in them, and you know what I'm saying, before, when it was jazz, and they have always monitored us in this country. Since they took off that leash, they monitored us. Even when they brought us to this country in slave ships, they monitored us, branded us, and you know, this is so. Let's understand that. Understanding that, we have to realize how we have to communicate with our people, right? We can't just say, oh, these people over here is trying to do this and do that and that. Especially when we're talking about a religion or any type of people. And, you know, Jewish people for this conversation. We can't even say that about Jewish people. What we have to understand is that, and with respect to, you know, Jewish people, first of all, there are a few different denominations of Judaism that is practiced in America, well, all over the world, right? So what I'm saying is you got like Hasidic Jews, you got Ashkenazi Jews, you got different types of Jews, right? So I am aware that we do have a Jewish element of, you know, it may be a hierarchy section of people that are, you know, spiritually, religiously trying to persecute and trying to maintain a certain level of power. And those people may be a subset of people that share a certain religion, right? And now these people are architecting our demise. They architect slavery. They architect the negative image that we have through music, through movies, through the media markets that promote and, you know, and showcase people to the world through media and through movies and stuff like that. So there are people who, you know, who hate us, who think certain things about black people. There is certain religious, I want to call it scripture, certain religious writings and dealings that speak illy of black people, that speak spiritually illy of black people, that say we're not human, you know, that say we're less than human and that we should be slaves and stuff like that. Yes. And these are the things that we have to uncover and show to the world. Without pointing a finger, saying a blanket statement, we have to be more strategic. We have to be more intelligent. We got to show more due diligence and do our homework and properly investigate so we can properly point out that devil. Because there's also another section of people that are in the same religion, we're speaking about the Jewish religion, that are in the same religion that don't feel like that love the culture of black people, that actually want to spread love to everybody. And when you say, Jewish people, the bailout comes from, now we're looking at what you're doing to those Jewish people. Evil and do have different, motives that claim Jewish faith. Can we automatically, blame and can you? It doesn't matter whether you think you can, because you can't in this world that we're in now. And do so safely and be able to get your message across and not have to do extra fighting and extra defending in the meanwhile. You know what I mean? So it's very sad to hear, the Shaqs and the J Wills and a lot of, I guess they don't understand. They don't understand what's at stake. And in their defense, they ignorant. They don't know. They haven't paid attention enough. They haven't been, and all of these people, man, these dudes been playing ball since they was 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. You know what I mean? So people around them have shielded them from lots of things. And sports is so different, man. Sports is crazy because, you'll have racist people who cheer. You have Stone Klansmen, bruh, who sit in a white hoodie in front of a black dude dangling from a tree, and they'll cheer on a black athlete watching a sport thing. So, you know what I mean? So a lot of times our brothers and sisters that's involved in the sports arena, in the sports world, that's our athletes, they have fans of all colors, and they don't understand. They don't understand because they've never been treated like that about black. So they think that maybe we just fronting. Maybe it's because we in the hood and we doing all this, and maybe that's why, because they can identify with a lot of the things that, that racist people say. They don't want too many brothers in their neighborhood either. You know what I mean? They don't want too many brothers around them either. They don't want a certain element of people around them, a certain look of people around them either, because they want to safeguard what they have. You know what I mean? And that's understandable. So I don't want a certain element of people around me, brother. But I understand and I love my people enough, right, to know what's going on in the world and how my people was affected by that and how I could properly help my people without, I don't got to be knee deep in the hood banging with y'all every day to help. Nah, but I understand what my people are dealing with and how to address them. And then, and in my silence and fortitude, when I'm working on myself and doing what I got to do, I could go into the energy to come and help my people. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. You know what I mean? So without even blaming those brothers, listen, they hurt brothers, they lost and they confused, and they're not for us. You know what I'm saying? They're not for Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, like I said, I always thought the NBA was, about inclusivity, but, I know they're blinded by not having to deal with racism because they're sports. You know what I mean? And when in the sports arena, racism really doesn't exist. It's sad. And we don't live in a sports arena, but in the sports arena it doesn't. So people that are involved in sports, they don't really get it. And Kyrie gets it because of his surrounding, his situation. He has heritage. He's been saying this has been coming out, and this is crazy. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. It's crazy because I'm a huge LeBron fan, so I never liked Kyrie. Well, I liked Kyrie, of course, when he was with LeBron. But once he left LeBron and he, went out and jumped ship, I was finished with him, and I didn't like him at all. I didn't care for him. But once he did the vaccine, once he stood for the vaccine, and he didn't care about the money and stuff, I started looking at him with a different light. I was like, wow, this dude is You know what I mean? He really got different motivations. You know what I mean? So it's not just about the money. So I started respecting him a little bit more. You know what I mean? I heard the little flat earth thing and all of that wrong stuff that he said that certain people are holding up against him now that ain't got nothing to do with what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? But just to see him standing up like this I gotta respect that brother, man. And I gotta stand, not only respect him from afar, I gotta stand with him. I gotta stand with him and put my hand up with him and say, nah, I'm with this brother, even though you don't need, but I'm here anyway. You know what I mean? I'm not here just to be with him. I'm here to stand with people. I'm here to stand at this time where it's a divisive time and people may not know when it's a line being drawn in the sand. I'm standing on a specific side. And that's it. I don't even think they want him to apologize, man. They want him to cry and get on his knees. They want him to submit, say uncle, and tap out. They cannot want that man to apologize. They don't care. You want him to apologize or you want him to mean it from the bottom of his heart. You want him to be sorry. You can't get that. You can't make him sorry. You can't change his heart and his feelings and what he loves. All you can do is make him respect you. Make him say, hey, yo, that was my bad. I was sorry. I shouldn't have did that. He did that. He did that. You want to break him down and make an example that if you think about opening up your mouth about the big bad wolf, will bite your head off. That's bullying. That's foul. And for people that's standing on the side of that, that's co-signing a bully, that's furthering putting a knee on his neck, you a sucker for that. Especially if you're a black man and you fighting a battle for somebody that's trying to kill you. You fighting a battle for somebody that think you's an animal and a monkey. Somebody whose religious beliefs state that you ain't shit. You coming out swinging for them, calling your brother an idiot. You're an idiot. And a sucker and a clown. And it's sad. But more importantly, that's the wrong way to say it. You're an idiot and sucker. I could call you names and all that, but you're wrong. And I could tell you why. I could break it down with irrefutable facts about why you wrong. And about why Kyrie is right and where he's wrong at. Okay, so no, he didn't apologize. But he specified clearly that he was wrong. So do you want him to apologize or do you want him to sing a song, a dance, get on his knees, say uncle, tap out, play the banjo, beat a few drums? What exactly is it that you want him to do? He already said it was wrong. He shouldn't have said it. He don't stand by the thing. It was wrong from the tweet. He took the tweet down. What else could you possibly want? This is the saddest part about it is that the guy who actually took the book, right? Now, somebody wrote this book, made this documentary that everybody's mad about. But the guy who owns Amazon, Jeff Bezos, he agreed to put it on his platform. He pays the person money for putting it on his platform and promotes it on his platform. But this is what Shaq said about Jeff Bezos. Now, I'm confused. If Jeff Bezos actually put it on his platform, isn't he promoting it? Isn't he the biggest promoter of the film? Why is nobody mad at him? Why is nobody at the very least boycotting Amazon for promoting anti-Semitic propaganda on his platform? What are the Jewish people not mad at him for putting that on there? He didn't meet with the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. But he sent a proxy and he was donating $500,000 to them. That just proves that they didn't want him to apologize. They want him to be sorry. They don't want him to say sorry. They want him to be sorry, which is impossible. Not going to the ADL was respectful. If I don't like you and you don't like me and we're opposing for fundamental reasons, and I already know we don't have respect for each other, bottom line, we don't have the respect for each other. They don't have the respect for Kyrie. They don't have the respect for his opinion or anything because they don't want him to have the opinion. He already said what he said was wrong. He already took it back, but they don't want him to have an opinion. They want him to bypass his opinion and strictly kiss their ass for the general public so that their image could be intact. That's exactly what they want him to do. So being that, listen, if he's going to go there, he's looking at it like, listen, we're not friends. We're not going to be friends. We could agree to disagree and respect each other And that's essentially what Kyrie did. Agree to, listen, I'm sorry. So if he came there personally, it would have been a problem. Because you would have been asking him, yo, why you feel like this? And he would have had to tell you the truth. And then that would have been a problem. So him not coming was respectful enough to not come and sit in your face and tell you, like, I don't like you, I feel this and that about you. The fact that he's not entitled to his feelings is the greatest atrocity. That's the greatest form of injustice. That's injustice. He's not entitled to his feelings. I understand what you say and what he put out publicly. He retracted that and took it down. Now you want to attack his feelings. That's crazy. That's evil. Let's watch that. We just got to be smarter. We got to use wisdom, and we got to choose our words wisely. And we got to speak wisely. We'll leave it there, man. TNR Network, Teach and Reveal. That's what we here to do. You know what I mean? My name Barnes Simmons, man. Follow the network, like and subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms. This is what we doing. TNRword.com. Go get you one of these hats, a shirt or something. We got a bunch of stuff up there.